Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Laureli Shimayo. This is the MeWe Fairs for energizing body, mind, heart, and soul. We have events throughout the Northwest, and we have lots of events online. Today is our online awakening panel, and the theme today is animal communication and healing. There are 5 people on the panel that specialize in working with animals, and I'm also available supporting the panel. We're going to be talking primarily about animal communication and healing. We'll be able to work on anything today. You'll see the practitioners have a wide range of modalities, and we can address really any question, and then that's our focus for today. It is free to be here, to listen and learn, and a small price to ask a question of the panel. We're going to go through and have the practitioners introduce themselves first, so you get to know who they are and how they'll be answering various questions, for what modalities and what context and perspectives they bring to answering your questions. And then I'll set the context and the container for the questions, and we'll begin. I'm putting the information in the chat again, the basic information on the event, and then I'll put information on all the practitioners in a moment as well. It is free to be here to listen and learn, and if you'd like to ask a question, we do request that you pay. We request that you pay first, and it's sliding scale. You choose what we pay. All the information's in the chat, including how to pay. And yeah, any other questions about that, feel free to ask me. Yeah, so I'm going to bring the practitioners up to the, that's where I'm going to pin them, or I guess spotlight. I guess I haven't done this in a little bit. I'm getting myself all mixed up. Okay, I'm going to spotlight them, and I can spotlight several, so they'll be up in the front for everybody. Great, and if you prefer to see it in gallery view, I believe you can select that as well. And more people coming. All right, great. So practitioners, yeah, take 2-3 minutes or so to introduce yourself. We'll start off with Alicia and then Audrey. Yeah, Lisa, Stacy, and Mark. All right, go ahead, Alicia.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here tonight. Like Laureli said, my name's Alicia, and I am an animal communicator and energy healer. I've got a couple different energy healing certifications, including Reiki, and I'm currently going through a Tao Healing Hands program. I was pretty naturally psychic when I was born. I remember past lives, and I didn't really realize what I was doing when I was younger, but like I would think of people's thoughts ahead of time. So I would be like, oh, they're going to go do this. And sure enough, they would. And what really got me, I've been doing this kind of under the rug for quite some time. But there were a couple experiences that really made me want to take it more seriously. The first one, I was able to work as a channeled medium with some random guy. I didn't really know him. I just met him out and about, and he was telling me about his kids, and he told me about his first kid and then his second kid, and I asked about his third kid, and he looked at me in shock and was like, how did you know about that? Just kind of like, what do you mean? Don't you have 3 kids? And apparently he had a child who had passed away a couple days after she was born and had been carrying this around for quite some time. So I was able to channel his infant daughter and really provide him a lot of peace in that way, and being able to communicate and do some energy healing around that. And then just a couple of years ago, people started passing my name around word of mouth, and a woman from France called me, much to my surprise, to talk to her cat. I thought it was really cool because we had done a couple sessions together, and she told me at one point that I had told her I thought her cat was a bunny in a past life. And she had kind of put the dots together and realized she had had a bunny as a child, and that she thought it was the same soul in her older life coming back as a cat. And so it was a really beautiful story, and I just invite you to open your minds to what's possible in these mystical realms. So I think that's about my time, but again, please let me know if I can help you in any way. My name is Alicia. My website is roseco.co if you'd like more information or to book a session privately.
Great, thanks so much, Alicia. All right, Audrey. Oops, I think Audrey's next. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, hi. Thank you. I'm so glad to be here. My name is Audrey Lee. I do astrology, numerology, tarot, destiny cards, or just talking to the spirit. So all my life, I've had really, endearing connections with cats. That's particularly, I love dogs and birds and all kinds of different animals. But when I was little, I started to acquire some cats in my house, and I just felt like I was able to talk to them, so that there goes my whole life. It's like I'm always able to talk to the kitties, but of course the whole world is just based on the energetic exchange, and how we talk to one another, and also I think that the spirits, they come through in my world in a very like a cartoonish world, or cartoonish vision. So oftentimes I will see somebody standing on somebody's shoulder, maybe, oh, that's my cat, or oh, that's my bird, or that's whatever. And then also, like, the picture behind me is my elephant, so a lot of the spirits come through this elephant, her eyes and all of that. So I just feel that it's very easy for me to communicate with the animals. So whatever I can do for you today, I hope to have that conversation with you. I can be found at audreyleemetaphysics.com. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Audrey. Let's see. So I think Lisa's next. Go ahead.
Thank you, Laureli. Hey, everyone. I am Lisa Stewart of Sigil Magic Goddess. I call myself a creative mixed medium. As a lifelong intuitive, I've always had each foot on two-dimensional planes. I grew up with an invisible friend with the ability to see ghosts and read energy intentions. Since I was young, I've had a personal connection with animals and pets. Today, I can talk to my two live kitties, Zari and Mutant. I believe that Source is a translator. Here's why. I learned that Zari and I might have been friends many generations ago. Zari once told me that her toy Mousie's name is Bunty. I had to look up the name, or the word Bunty, and I found that Bunty is one of the various nicknames for Elizabeth. My real name is Elizabeth, so it's very possible that we were related or we were besties. As for Mutant, it's possible that he was my husband once upon a time. Joke's on him. Today, I can call my spirit kitties back from the cosmos. I see one of my tabby cats playing in our red travel wagon, or sitting in a cardboard box meant for our live cats, or on the table among the glassware where they're not supposed to be when they're alive. So if you hear me shout, "Get off," at an empty counter, you probably know why. Lastly, I have a spirit kitty named Chardonnay, whose feet are in both dimensions as well. He guides me in the spirit world and my landscape, and often visits me in the mundane, walking all over me in bed. Sometimes he provides healing energy when I'm sick. So if you have an animal that's moved from this world to the next, and you'd like more information on what steps you can take to rekindle your energetic relationship, I'm happy to share that with you. As a footnote, I'm also a sigil designer. I've drawn pet protection sigils free for you to apply on any material that you'd like. Lastly, as an intuitive business coach with over 30 years of business experience, I help mystics like you reconnect with your personal magic to find the courage to co-create your business, to grow your confidence and your income. I look forward to your questions tonight. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Lisa. I'm juggling with, to take payments and getting another practitioner here and all those things. So thanks everyone for your patience with my multitasking. All right, let's see. We've got Stacy next. Go ahead, Stacy.
Hey everybody, I am Stacy Franco of coastalcalmedium.com. I am a Reiki and energy worker, medium, and I work with a variety of clairs. I'm relatively new to working. I've done it my whole life. I didn't realize what I was doing. I thought that I just had lots of voices in my head, or that, I was making up what the cat was saying to me or what the horse was saying to me, because nobody believed that I could have, possibly known what I was talking about. It wasn't until a couple of years ago, my niece passed tragically. And I started hearing her talking to me, and my kids were with me, and my kids were traumatized. And so I was like, I've got to say this. I don't want to say this. So I started saying what I was hearing. And my kids were like, Mom, there's no way you could have known that. These were like our secrets, like the girls' secrets that they were doing down in the basement at grandma's. And that's when I decided I'd had enough being a personal trainer. I'm gonna definitely jump full feet into the healing realm, because I realize our deceased loved ones are so much closer than we think they are. They're not that far away. We're taught something different. And I like to bring them closer, and I love to connect people. I learned that I can speak with animals. I've helped pass on several animals, which is a really humbling and intimate experience for people. I guess that's pretty much me. So if you are interested in talking to your deceased loved ones or having energy work, I can help you out with that.
Thanks so much, Stacy. And Mark, your turn.
Hello, my name is Mark Ludeman. I have a 40-acre retreat and healing center in the Oregon Coast Range. I discovered my ability to heal when I was 18. I was born with it when I had a Kundalini awakening. If I point my hand at you, energy runs through me, out me, into you. I don't create it, I just follow it. I also see and work with the energetic body. I tell people, some people read tea leaves, I read wrinkles in clothes. I have clients all over the world, mostly online. I work with, but clients are bringing me animals. I've also had some interesting experience lately with people that have close ones pass away to them with suicides. And I can contact them and help them move on and find out if they're stuck or not. My name of my place is at acesinnature.com. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks so much, Mark. Let's see, and we just had Norma arrive. Norma, get your video on, and I'll get you up here on the panel.
Hi, thank you.
Oh, great. We're just doing introductions, and it's just your turn. I'll go ahead and change your name. Go ahead, and you've got 2 to 3 minutes to introduce yourself.
Okay, thank you for being here. It's a pleasure always. My name is Norma. I'm a spiritual healer, shaman. I'm here in California. I do distance healing, so in-person healing for all type of issues, trauma, physical, emotional, pain, also like past life regressions. I focus a lot on also on emotional, depression, anxiety. I also work with a pregnant woman who is having like postpartum depression or anxiety, or just like guiding her with a baby in her journey as well. And thank you for having me.
And is there anything specific you want to say about animal healing, and anyone else about animal communication and healing? If there's anything else that you want to share, go ahead.
I also work with animals communication. I do a lot of healing with, especially with horses, cats, dogs, all these animals. I work really close and just to clean their energy, anything that they might pick up from their owners, or if they're just experiencing too much for them. I also do cleansing on them as well.
Great, thank you. And practitioners, anything else you want to say about how you work with animals after hearing each other? I know often sometimes it's a prompter that something else you hadn't shared. Go ahead, Alicia.
Yeah, what came to my mind, I've been doing more and more readings for people who don't actually have pets, but they've been seeing the same animals in nature, or sometimes you come across an animal in your path or see a bird in the sky, and you get that feeling and you just know that spirit is talking to you through this experience. So just, I welcome you to open up your minds, and even if it's not directly related to animals, this is a great opportunity to ask questions about whatever is going on with you in your life.
Yeah, anyone else? Go ahead, Mark.
So besides all what I do, I also have a farm. I have 10 cows, 8 sheep, 8 goats, all kinds of poultry. So I have lots of animals in my life.
And I saw some photos of some adorable goats just the other day. Right. Anyone else? Anything else you want to share about animals? All right. Can dive in. I know Norma's only going to be here a short time, and So just see, they would trust that the photo or the order in which the questions come, right, is the order that they need to be here. I believe that photos by hand, I'm not sure who this is, may have paid for a question, and then also Melissa. You'll see if I can figure out photos by hand who this is.
That would be me, Kristen Hand.
All right, great. I'm gonna bring you up to the spotlight. All right, what is your question? Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I normally set a context. Let me set a context. I'm like dashing in today. This is a great opportunity for everyone to learn from all that is asked and all that is answered, whether or not you ask a question. If you want to practice opening to your intuition, get something to write with and something to write on, and just draw, take notes. Anything that shows up, you get a chance to see if what comes through you comes through something, what comes through the practitioners as well, something that they share today. You, of course, may have something come through you that is very relevant that we happen to not mention. Also, given that this is a public format, that this is a group and we're recording and will be posted online, when you ask a question, if we share deeper than you want us to be going in this format, or we share about topics that you don't want us sharing about here, please, you can give us guidance from the beginning to stay to a particular channel, or if we go anywhere you don't want us to go, please interrupt us and give us guidance. We're here to honor you in all of our responses. Okay, Kristen, what is your question?
Okay, thank you. I am totally open to anything that comes through from anybody. My main question is, I feel there's a really big shift coming through for me soon, and I've been anxious for it for a while. And I feel that it has something to do with animals, involved with animals. But there are a number of different possible outlets that could be, and I just wonder if anybody has any guidance for me along that line.
Great, thanks so much. So yeah, practitioners, when you're ready to answer, let me know by raising your hand in Zoom, and yeah, I'm gonna see what shows up. Go ahead, Alicia. Oh, and then Stacy. I think I saw Alicia do this, but then if
Oh,
Alicia's
go ahead,
ready, then Stacy. No? Stacy?
Okay, I just wanted to get us started. I started taking notes, so I thought I'd just tell you what I'm taking.
Oh my God! How the fuck you got internet?
Sorry, everybody.
I got me a fucking hotspot!
Sorry about that, everyone. All right.
Well, excuse me.
Reporting. All right.
Am I okay to keep going, Lorelai?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so maybe just take a deep breath and a little moment of energy cleansing for everybody. Kristen, redirecting back to your question, the first thing I heard was a change in your job or your career. Sometimes this can also relate very strongly to our life paths and our life purposes. So it doesn't necessarily have to be how you make your income. It could also, but I'm sensing it really is fully aligned with that. So the other thing that came up was really the guidance to sit with yourself and identify what you want and how you want to move forward, because the task here is to remind you that you have all of the power in the world and that you are capable of creating this beautiful future simply by imagining it. So yeah. I did write down vet with a question mark. I don't know if you're planning on doing some kind of healing of animals, but I would certainly look into that realm of how you can be some sort of animal healer in a way.
Yep, that's definitely one of the possibilities that's trying to figure out how to make it happen.
Sure. Well, and the guides, what I'm hearing is like, you just need to decide. Once you decide, you know, the steps kind of open up and you just follow the path, right? But you have to choose which path you're going to get on.
I can relate to that. Thank you.
Sure.
Thanks, Alicia.
Oh.
We've got Stacy, then Audrey, then Mark. So in like 2.5 minute answers. Go ahead.
I was just going to tell you, as you were talking, I see and picture a lot, and I just see this black and white border collie. I don't know if that's associated with you, if that's something you should watch for, but just like bouncing around, this happy as can be, black and white, beautifully groomed border collie. So for what it's worth, that's what I got.
Great, thank you.
Thanks so much, Stacy. Next, we've got Audrey.
Thank you. So I got this message that's like a, slowly and vaguely coming through. And then I was just confirmed just now that it's a kind of like a doggy image. Doggy image is what he has chosen to be in a past life, or that he was. And he says that even though he had kind of a little bit of a sad ending, kind of like an injured ending, injured, or a car ran over or something, that kind of an injury was the ending. But he says, well, that does not affect it. It's just a way that, like all of us, we have many past lives, and we have all chosen probably die in bed or die in whatever situation. So, it's just one of the many things that we've chosen to do. If you've had enough past lives, and you've chosen probably 10 different ways to die. And so anyway, this is just part of the conversation that we had just now. And he says that he's here to help you because you're very, you had this endearing connection with the dog. And so he's here to help you have a closer connections with all the people around you, including animals. And so that it, of course, includes a healing energy just by your gentle essence, the way that you talk to people, or very friendly. And so, that is what he wants to tell me.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Audrey. Mark is next.
So when you start talking about this, I got this image of you standing on a cliff about ready to jump off. And I don't think it's a matter of doing, it's a matter of learning to be. It just things just start happening when you learn how to be. It's being in your essence. I don't get a lot about animals. I get a lot about you helping a lot of people. But I think animals is how you access the people.
That's incredibly appropriate, I think. Yeah.
Now you're lighting up.
Yes.
Can I do a little something with you?
Oh, certainly. I'm totally open.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Great, practitioners. Anything else before I go ahead, Lisa?
Hey, Kristen, good evening. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Awesome. Okay, I guess puppy spoke.
Yes.
So when you were talking initially, what I got for you was nonprofit and rescue. And I think it kind of bounces off of what Mark was saying, and that is not necessarily helping animals, but helping people. And I think that there's a marriage there. And I think that if you're leaning into that big shift, goddess forbid that there's a hurricane or something like that where you need to help rescue groups in that capacity, right? I've done that on occasion. And so when you help, the people, you help their pets and vice versa. And so what I did also is I've got a small set of energy oracle cards that I've designed, and this is for people in career and business, and they align with the structures in one's business. And so I've aligned each of the energies in one's business. And so, of course, I chose Earth, which is Pentacles, we all know of, but in career and business, it's about resources, tools, and revenue. So I decided, all right, well, let's take a little closer look at what that means for you. And so, of course, I drew the Queen of Pentacles. This one is the Queen of Buttons. It's a little blurry there. There we go. From the 5-cent tarot. And of course, the keywords on this are providing, caregiver, and practicality. So I think if you blend those three energies into your pursuit and just feel into that being essence, I think that you'll arrive at the answer that you seek. That makes sense?
That does make sense. Thank you.
You bet.
Great. Just checking to see if anyone else. My dog evidently had something to say.
Yes, that was fun.
Well, I don't feel it in you now, so maybe it's shifted. Right? There was part of when we were answering it, what I was feeling in your eyes, and this may have to do with something other part of your life. It's like you were almost like resisting, waiting, holding back a little bit for someone to prove something to you.
Oh, yes.
And that seemed like that would be something that would get in the way of you moving forward with where you want to go. Like that somehow you're letting it be dependent on someone else, or like questioning whether like the door is really open for you. Like you're the one that creates the flow. Like you notice the flow around you, and at the same time, like allowing the energy that's coming, whatever it is, to propel you. That's what part of what creates the flow for things to happen. Yeah, so whatever way that might help you open.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Anything else for Kristen? Great. Thank you so much, Kristen. I hope that the insight we've given you, I hope that it's valuable and supportive. And
Thank you so much.
you're very welcome. All right. And next we have Melissa. Melissa, if
Hi,
you
everybody.
okay,
I got
great. If you
my
want to come on
microphone turned on.
camera, if you want to come on camera, I'll put you up in the front. It's up to you.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to turn on the camera anyway because I have Cody. And you can't see Cody if I don't turn the camera on. Which way is this going?
Okay, great. You're up now.
Oh, can you see me?
We can.
Because I can't see. Oh, there I can see.
If you
Can you
swipe,
see?
you might see more of us too.
Well, and I'm trying to turn it. Well, here, let's go like
Oh.
this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You see Cody? This is Cody. So Cody belonged to my mom for about 10 years. And then my mom died. So now I get Cody. Whoops, there she is. So she's great. She's very lovable. She's friendly most of the time. But you know what? Every time I leave the room, she screams like, and I mean, she doesn't tweet like a bird. She screams bloody murder at the top of her lungs the entire time that I'm out of the room. Like, seriously. So I recently ended up moving in with a friend of mine because we ended up homeless. And then my sister's like, take this bird. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll take the bird. You know what, but it's causing a lot of problems where I live because she screams all day. And then I just started this job, so I'm gone for 4 hours and I don't have to hear it. So she's even worse when I'm gone. And I just don't know what to do for her. Hi, Cody. You can say my pet.
And when you're in the room with her like this, she's quiet.
Yeah, she's great. She's like this. She doesn't talk to you when you're in the room. If you come up and get after her for screaming and go back downstairs, she'll talk trash when you leave the room. I mean, she talks trash to you when you leave the room, like, but she won't talk to you. She only talks trash when you leave the room. But yeah, she's great.
And
like this.
You're speaking about a little bit of plural of like, does she do this with others too? Like there are other people she connects with in this way?
So my daughter, she loves my daughter, but my daughter's terrified of her because there's been a couple of times where she's attacked people. She tried to peck my friend's eyeballs out the other day, and I really had to like put my hand in the way and throw a towel over the bird yeah. And I literally think it was because my daughter was on the other side, but she loves my daughter so much, but my daughter has so much anxiety about her. So I can't let her out like this when Jessica's home, because she will find her way to Jessica and she's like all over her, rubs on her and loves on her. And But I think if someone comes between them, she will peck their eyes out.
By the way, my assistant just got on. She's got several parrots, and I just think she's really interested in your bird. Would you mind if it's okay? Could you pet your bird again? It's just really interesting how
Sure.
connecting your bird is.
Yeah, she looks like an angel when she opens her. Yeah. Let's see if I can get you back on the camera, bub. There you go, my friend. So when my mom had her, my mom used to smoke a lot of cigarettes, and you know, so the bird didn't eat. She had a lot of anxiety, but we don't smoke. And she started to eat. She's putting on weight. She's not plucking as bad, but that screaming is like, oh, do you see?
And I'm not good with different types of birds, but what is it called? The type it is?
She's a cockatoo.
Okay. Yeah, so practitioners. I guess so you're kind of, what do you want to phrase? Like, what is your question?
Yeah, so like, well, I mean, so first of all, is there any way anybody that can connect with her and see what I can do to help her? I mean, what can I do so that she's not screaming? And you know, what else can I do to like, I don't know nothing other than turn on YouTube and let her watch other birds. But you know, that's not like a solution. Yeah.
Yeah, and someone else wrote something in the chat too that I don't, yeah, so let's see. So I think in order, we've got Lisa and then Audrey and then Mark. Go ahead, Lisa.
Hey, Melissa, what a beautiful bird. I'm enjoying watching her. I'm not necessarily a bird person, but she's beautiful. And when you were talking, immediately I got from her is that she's scared.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I can't read into her anymore. And I'm betting the other practitioners here can do that. But that was the first thing I heard from her was that she's scared. And so I think really it's a matter of understanding what that looks like for her and how to kind of allay that. So I'll bounce off, but best of luck to you, Melissa. She's a beautiful bird.
Yeah, I try grounding her, but it just exhausts me. Like I'm like exhausted.
So we've got Audrey, then Mark, then Alicia. Go ahead, Audrey.
Okay.
One of those nuts. Is that what you're looking at, Bubba? Nope. She's like, nope.
Adorable birdie, I love you. Hello. Nice of you to show
Oh,
up.
there.
Sorry, we're having a little trouble hearing you, maybe. Is that, I'm trying to figure out what's. Okay, go
Me?
ahead.
Okay. Okay, so she was telling me that when she was with Norma, life was kind of dull or serious. You know, a lot of times you don't have much to say, then just sit there. That's just the overall energy of the household, or that's how she grew up. But now that she's because she did tell me that she likes you a lot, plenty. And
Yeah.
because there's no nervous energy or anything. So she says that when you are away or when you are displaced, when you say, oh, we're homeless or we are this and that. So, you know, she kind of, she tells me that she's happy that we are on the go. You know, or maybe that's
Right.
only temporary, but still, it is kind of an easy feeling. So she says,
Right.
I said, do you want to help her find a place, your next home? She says, oh, not yet, or I don't know. We're not looking forward to that yet. So anyway, I suppose she has no opinion of that. But when she screams, she says, well, I just have a lot to say. It's almost like a childhood at this point.
Right.
So that's what I get from her. So I think you just need to talk to her more and allow her to vent, to say whatever she wants to say. I think that's what I'm getting right now.
All right, thanks, Audrey. We've got Mark and Alicia.
I could tell immediately she was upset, and I get that she's angry. What do you think she's angry about?
Yeah, I don't.
Any idea?
Well, and the thing of it is it's always when I leave. It's so, my mom,
It's not you though.
yeah,
You're kind
yeah,
of
I
her
don't know.
security.
Oh,
Did your
so
she feels
she's
deserted
always
by your
been like
mom?
this. We got her, she was like that, screamed all the time. That's probably why she's been passed around. She's 48. My mom had her
Oh,
for 10
heavens.
years. My friend had her for 5 before that. She's been through some people. And she screams for Aggie, and then she will scream at the top of her lungs. So she's searching for somebody.
So when your mom had her, she screamed?
Yeah.
Really?
Every time when you leave the room, every time you leave the room.
Huh. It's like someone hurt her in her childhood. Oh, that sounds weird. A bird's
Yeah,
childhood, but that's
well,
what it
yeah,
feels like.
she's old.
Yeah. Oh,
She's
yeah.
almost as old as I am.
Yeah. So the other thing I could do, even whether people are talking, is run energy on her. I don't know if you heard what I do, but energy runs out of my hand when I direct it
Right.
at someone.
Right. Oh, see, she says yes.
Okay.
You really
I got
dogs,
that.
Cody.
Oh, there. Oh, yes. It's like her heart is opening. Oh, it's scared. Oh, you like that, huh? Oh, she feels better now.
Yeah, see there, she's giving you kisses.
Yeah,
Did you love
yeah,
the kisses? Oh,
yeah.
give me kisses. Oh, so good
Oh,
girl. That's a good girl.
she wants to pass them on to you.
Give me kisses. Oh, maybe she needs to ground me instead of me trying to ground her all day. Holy.
I think I agree with that. I totally agree with that. There.
What do you think? You're so pretty, huh? Didn't ask for none of this, did you? Oh, yeah,
It's
such
better
a
to me.
good girl. Oh, yeah, it's a baby. She looks
You can
like an
go on
angel
to,
when she opens her wings. I love that.
because she is.
You're you little sweetheart.
All right, great. Anything else, Mark?
No, I'm done. Thank you.
Great. And
Thanks,
we've got
Mark.
Alicia and then Audrey. Again.
Hello. Well, so as you were talking, Spirit visited me, a great big white light. And at first I thought it might have been your mother, but I kind of like went through this little conversation, and I think it's actually her mother is Audrey. And so what she's saying is that she's sad, and it's that I just lost my person grief sadness, a very deep, strong sadness. And when you're leaving the room, it's almost like she's very childlike, and it feels like she's worried that you're not coming back for her, that when you leave, you're just completely gone. There's a lot of parallels between you and her. And so she's also saying when she was like a baby bird, someone left the room and a cat jumped in through the window and killed one of the other birds. And so she's really afraid about being alone.
Well, oh, sorry. We have a lot of cats here. We have 7 cats.
That is concerning to her.
Yeah. We have 7 dogs, 7 cats, and 7 kids.
Yeah.
But so I just took this amazing job, and we're just steps away from being up and out and safe and away from all the cats, not the dogs. We still have 1 cat and a couple dogs, but half of the crew's staying behind. So
it seems like once that happens, things will settle down quite a bit. I think she's always going to want to be around either other birds or other people. It makes her feel more comfortable having other souls in the room. So one of the other things that she was saying was because your mom loved your daughter so much, She kept telling me this again and again. She's starting to take care of baby, and I think that's your daughter. And so she really not only loves your daughter a lot because she associates that love from your mother towards your daughter in a grandmotherly role, but she's really has this intention of protecting her. And so what she's saying is she's taking on some of your grief, and she's also in parallel processing her own grief about when her bird mom died. She said, she says she's helping you to manage your emotions, especially with so many things going on right now. And so I asked her if there was anything that you could do, and it seems like she doesn't really, she understands a lot is going on. She understands your mom isn't around anymore, but she doesn't really quite know that she is passed on. So the recommendation was, if it's possible, to hang a picture of your mother on the wall near her or somewhere in the room she usually is at.
Right, that's a great idea, actually.
Yeah.
And you're right, my mom had like a special bond with Jessica, and that's a lot of that comes into play. Like Cody loves Jessica like my mom loved Jessica.
Yeah, so just kind of as things happen, remember that, she's going through her own grieving process and trying to kind of rebalance with the new family dynamic.
Okay.
Yeah, she's looking for comfort.
Okay, great.
Thanks
We've got,
Yes, she's gonna come climb on me here in a second.
great. We've got Audrey and Lisa, and just Norma. I want to say you were nodding earlier.
Thank
so Norma,
you.
I didn't know if you wanted to jump in at all or.
Yeah, after Lisa.
Okay, go ahead, Audrey.
Thank you.
There.
Okay, so I just have something quick to add. Earlier we mentioned about the grounding, and I know that for us, our metaphysical language, we think that grounding is good because we are present. We bring ourselves back to the center, the core. But I think that physically, she's relating to the fact that, I don't need to be grounded. She takes it to that language, a literal language. Like, I don't need to be grounded. I can be out there having fun, or I'm hoping to get out more. But I think something that Alicia was saying about seeing the picture, I think she is very visual. So she would like to perhaps sit by the window or look at some things, or look at all those people or those cats or those whoever, look at other people doing their things. So she's very visual. She wants to keep busy. And I think that would keep her mind going. And then she was telling me that was the one way, because I did ask her, what can we do to make you happier? And she says, I want to keep busy. So far, I feel that every time we say something or sending her energy, she's listening. She's almost like turning the head or listening with the back of her head.
Oh yeah, she's always attentive.
Great.
Little vibes, huh?
Thanks, Audrey. Okay, we've got Lisa and then Norma.
Hey, thank you. Hey, Melissa, just as a quick note that I wanted to add as well, bouncing off of Alicia and Audrey, and that is, whenever I leave my apartment or anything, I will supply our pets with an old t-shirt or something for them to remember us by, the energy, the scent, and all of that. And I'm not quite familiar with birds, so I don't know if she would tear up something, but do you have anything of your mom's?
Yeah, but if she tore it up, that would be all right. Like, my mom wouldn't never care. I mean, so yeah, there's some things that she could have.
So I think by keeping busy, you could just introduce one at a time to see, how she plays with it, and then perhaps swap it out for something else just to keep her entertained along with the visual aspects. I wonder if something like that might be helpful.
I think it might actually, because she likes even the toys, any of the parrot toys or anything that I buy for her. That's her thing. She just shreds them, breaks them, tears them apart, feeds them through the wire, But it keeps her busy and it keeps her quiet. So yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Well, best of luck.
Yeah, she would totally taste. I mean, she would be able to taste my mom's scent on the clothes. They use their tongue, I think, for a lot of that, but I think it would work.
Great, great. All right, and Norma?
Thank you.
I think I agree with all of you. You know, the grieving piece, the anger, right? And so many sensations, so many, the environment as well. One of the things that I usually do is
So pretty.
healing with any type of animals, right? To clean them and the energy that is external energy, but also inside. So I don't know if you like, because today's panel, I'm doing free animal healing. So if you like, you can send me a picture and I will do the healing. Or if we still have time here, I can do a quick healing to remove the energy as much as I can. And then you can always send me a picture to my email or to my phone. But yeah.
Thank you. We would appreciate that. We would like that very much. Huh, Cody?
Yeah, so
Great. And I'll put,
Oh, you're so fluff now. Look at the fluff.
and I mean, do we have a couple minutes? Like, I don't know, like a minute so I can remove now and then she can send me a picture or something?
yeah, you can do that now. I just put your information in the chat again too. But yeah, if you want to do something right now, can
Okay.
others of us be talking at the same time, or is that something you need quiet for?
No, it's fine. You can keep,
Sure. And then if anyone else has something to share, and maybe I'll just say, Melissa, yeah, it's great to see you again. I haven't seen you online in a little bit, and yeah, so fascinating. My assistant happens to have several birds, and one thing she mentioned in general is that you all know this, but what did she say? Birds are flock animals, and they don't like to be left alone. So I know she's got it worked out where she generally works at home and she's in a community house. So there are lots of people around all the time. So even though they're in the cages sometimes, there's still lots of people. And I know there are some challenges where sometimes the birds are a bit challenging for people, but so yeah, who's with them and who's not with them. But yeah, your bird's amazingly friendly. I took a quick look online too, and it's common that these birds do scream. And
Yeah.
I mean, there's some of the tough love type stuff online of like wait until they don't respond, or like as soon as they don't scream for 5 seconds, go closer to them so that they get the positive reinforcement. But
Right.
and there's some people say not to snuggle with them because they'll interpret that you're their mate. But I'm like, they want the love and connection. So someone else was suggested get her a mate. So these are just some of the different things that came up. If anyone has any comments on these or anyone on the panel.
She has a snuggle buddy that's designed for snuggling in the corner, that she goes and tucks up under and so forth and so on. I'm getting her a carrier so that she can go out in public more and be safe. I could totally take her to my office if she didn't scream.
And this is where if she's around you, she
room,
might not scream, but
so that's the plan. And now that it's warmer, we can, take her out and do some things. She's easy enough to load in and out, to get her into a carrier. She's easy to bribe.
So
Pecans or something.
Yes, I don't know what you're doing for work, but this is where, like, if you go to meetings, she might have to go to meetings with you and things like that. She might have to be around you all the time so she doesn't scream. So that it's, and I guess you'd have to experiment with it with someone else with you, so that if she was screaming at work, that you had a way you could, have her go somewhere else. But oh,
yes, I know.
Lovely.
Say thank you. Tell him thank you.
Super quickly.
Go ahead.
Melissa, when I was doing the healing, one of the things that came out is she wants to say goodbye to her. She wants to understand what was going on, what happened when she passed away, so she can have a better understanding. If you can communicate with her what happened. And feel free, if you like, you can always send me a picture and I will do a more like deep healing on her. And yeah, it will be Better. You just start.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Tell them all thank you, Cody. Tell them all thank you. All right, say goodbye, Cody.
Thank you so much, Melissa.
Yeah, thanks, you guys. Thanks, everybody. Come on.
All right, let's see. We've got I think Leslie and Jenna in line next. Leslie. Oh, here's Leslie, I think.
Hello.
Hi. What is your
Hi.
question?
So I'm making the transition from the corporate world to do what I love and do animal Reiki, and more intuitive healing and things like that. I've had, since I made this decision, I've had some very interesting encounters with animals and foxes and just animals coming to say hi. So I know I'm kind of headed in the right way, but something, I don't have that, like what I'm supposed to do. So I was wondering what you get on that.
Hey, thanks for your question. Yeah. All right, Mark's ready. Go ahead, Mark.
So I don't get what you're supposed to do, but it's pretty apparent to me your third eye's about ready to open up a lot more. And I have something that's very out crazy that I take every day that helps with that. It's called borax. You buy in the laundry aisle at the supermarket. If you message me, I can tell you how to use it. Or find me on Facebook or something, but I consider it a necessity.
Great, thank you.
Great, so borax, so boric acid. Say Mark, interesting. I'll put Mark's information in the chat for you. Let's see. So we've got Stacy and Audrey. Go ahead, Stacy.
Hey, Leslie, I was just in your shoes. So I knew I was a medium first, and then I realized it was animals, and I'm still figuring out what to do. But my only advice to you is follow the signs. You've got animals talking to you and coming to you. I've reached out to some humane societies, just going in and getting hands-on, looking for some holistic vets. Could be a way to go too. If you want to get my information, I'm getting ready to start just a free group of just information where we get together once a week or twice a week and we just talk and pass out ideas and what works for you and where are you going and that kind of thing, just a support group. So I don't know where to tell you what you're supposed to do. I don't think that's not my specialty, but go check out those places, those resources, find other people who are doing similar things. Start coming to a lot of these kinds of things and just listen to that intuition and that third eye.
Great, thank you.
Thanks so much. Let's see. So then we've got Audrey and Alicia.
Thank you. So what I'm getting is that you don't have to do something that's very complicated. The first thing that I got was to provide wisdom or to provide like a support. So it's kind of like we doing the counseling, right? When people come to us and say, oh, what should I do? What's happening? And then so that counseling or that wisdom or the source of your knowledge is very important for others, to say the least. But you don't have to be like a vet. Like, oh, I provide 10 different services or grooming or this and that. You don't have to do that. And basically, I'm not getting a lot of that physical labor either. I think it's more like a mental, just communicating and being around, making a lot of friends, having a lot more connections. So that's what I'm getting.
Thank you.
Alicia.
Yeah, I agree with what's been said so far. And I think there's a timing component, because I'm going to tell you something kind of related to what Audrey had said, but I think it's about making sure you do it in the right steps, right? So a later on step is very much being around others and finding that connection. It was interesting to me that you talked about the foxes, because whenever I hear foxes, I'm reminded about how they withdraw into their dens often. And that's really a sign to me that you have some shadow work to do, that really taking some time alone in quietude would be helpful to, and literally what I saw is just dumping out your brain, basically dumping out this past corporate life, start like kind of getting rid of that and starting with a clean slate before you start bringing new stuff in. So I would encourage you to do that. The other thing I heard was if you don't have a daily practice, certainly work on starting one. Some good suggestions for that is to have a moment of gratitude. And you can either do this, at a specific time of day, whether that's when you wake up or go to bed, maybe when you eat. The other thing I really like to do is, especially if I'm like not in my house and out and about, if I see anything I like, I am just like instantly take that second to have that gratitude for that, whatever it is, right? So you're walking around, I like that, I like that, I like that. Part of the reason I said about the shadow work and clearing out some of the other things, it seems like you have to a certain extent closed down your abilities in the past, and you might have one or two beliefs about maybe something like people don't believe me, or this makes me crazy, or something along those lines. So really take a moment to just bring those into your conscious awareness, look at them, be like, nah, this isn't true anymore, and clear them away. Because as soon as you get rid of that stuff, that's when all of a sudden your flower can blossom in a different way. And you're really just on that path and ready to go out and make those connections to continue to develop your skills further.
Thank you. That's right on.
And I just want to leave you too. It looks like after you kind of do some of this clearing work, you have this beautiful future in front of you. Your guides want you to know you are on the right path, and that you kind of have to go through the dicey bit to get to all the good stuff that's way better than what you're leaving behind.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate the question.
Great. Lisa's next.
Hey, Leslie, good evening. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so what I've done is I have pulled an energy oracle card, and I don't know if you were online when I kind of introduced them, but the energy oracle card I pulled for you is the energy fire. And we know that fire is the suit of creativity and courage, right? Fire's hot, wild, unpredictable, and energetic. It can be creative and inspired, or it can be destructive and devastating. So I went a little bit further, and in that same suit, I pulled the 7 of Wands. This is the 7 of matches in the 5-cent tarot. But the keywords in here include conviction, perseverance, and protection. And I think this supports everything that everyone else has been saying. And what I found also in here is that as you are clearing the corporate stuff and moving into, right, the new entrepreneurial aspect of your life, there is going to be a certain amount of ensuring that you know what you know, so that way you can defend yourself against the naysayers. And of course, if there are naysayers, then, they're not really your customer, they're not your friends. And in addition to that, you're going to find that you're going to get new friendships, and some of the old friendships are just kind of wither away. So expect that to happen, especially with fire, especially with wands, as you're creating a new life for yourself. Is that helpful?
Yes, definitely. Thank you.
You bet. And along the way, you're going to find a bit of trepidation and precariousness as you're on your learning journey. And I don't know if you're familiar with Tiny Wins, but what I like to do is each day draw 3 stars in my bullet journal and kind of highlight the things that I would have achieved that day, or the things that I have overcome. Because over time, if I'm feeling low and I'm like, how, what kind of progress have I made? And I can look back on the week and go, oh, well, I did this, and this. Okay, I got this, right? So that way you can track and record everything that you have done so far.
Oh, that's a great idea. Thank you.
You bet. You bet. And best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, great. Anyone have anything else for Leslie? Go ahead, Alicia.
Oh, I just see her
Norma.
ready to jump in.
Mhm.
Just, take a moment, as everybody says, to ground yourself, to see what is in your heart, to see what is your mission in life, and see also what is kind of stuck in you. Like, what are some of the thoughts that come up? What are some of the emotion experiences that you might have from past lives? That is kind of what I see. Is like some thoughts are not coming from this life, but from previous lives that is kind of stuck in you. You know what you want to do, you already know, but it's something more like external towards you, like that is kind of blocking you. So yeah.
That makes sense. Thank you.
The last
Alicia.
thing, the last thing I was going to say, it's a quick one, but I wanted to share it with you because I wrote it down, and it's that the fox can get through anything. And it's really this reminder that you know where you want to go. And if you just keep chipping away at that goal, you will certainly get there.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you.
And Mark's got something too.
I picked up on what you said about the past lives. There's definitely past life trauma there. My work dramatically changed after someone told me that in your past life you were hung on a cross and your arms ripped off you. And that's why you're afraid of seeing clients. Once I understood that, everything started blossoming.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I've got background noise from my dog. Got someone in my house, and figure that out in a moment. Anyone have anything else for Leslie?
Thank you, everyone. It's been helpful.
Great, great. And I maybe I should see if I have anything too. I can't see our eyes very well, but I'm
Better.
yeah. I know you're I mean, so I can't quite tell what your space is like right now. Are you in what time zone are you in?
East Boston, Mass. So Eastern.
Yes, you're in the East Coast, right? So I feel the darkness and the light around you and the dark, and there it just seems like there's something to do about maybe this is related to what some other people shared earlier, maybe. It almost seems like dancing or fire ceremony or something of really letting go of what's been hard. And so letting your energy open up and feel the joy of where you're heading, even though you don't know what it is. But, like imagining what it would be like and allowing your energy to open and expand to what's possible and where you're heading and why you want to go there, and feeling the joy of the things that you love to do, to having your attention and your energy in that direction and not what you've been focused on. And I notice you're touching right here as you I do body psychology. So all these kinds of itches or things that we notice really matter. And so this is in an area maybe of burden, of caring too much. It could be saying no, like you don't want to hold something anymore. It can also be a yes about going forward. Just what comes up for you as I ask that?
Definitely a lot of burden, and the corporate world, although I don't like it, it's got financial security. And going out on my own is a little scary in that respect. So working through that.
Have you done, I don't know what stage you were in the transition. Have you done like part-time, just doing some of the things that you're wanting to move towards?
Nights and weekends. Yeah.
Okay, great. And then you definitely know you want to end completely, and the other word completely, you don't. Okay, great. So I just encourage you to have like kind of a really fun no experience, like, grab something that you can crumple up and just no and throw it, like you see I did. I mean, really just like no, and right. So pick up something that you can like no, to all the things that you're wanting to say no to, and let yourself really feel the no. And so you're not weighed down by it, but really the energy of it shifting and changing and releasing.
Yeah, I'm a frontline health worker, and really these past 2 years have taken their toll, and the universe, I'm listening, I'm done. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So kind of
Great.
letting that out of your body so you're not still holding.
Great. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thanks so much for your question. They're supporting us with your question. All right, we've got Jenna up next. All right, here's Jenna.
Hi guys.
Hi.
So I had one rabbit that I was gonna ask a question about. We have two rabbits. Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah. So we have two rabbits, one of whom is named Rory, and she will not come out right now. We recently got her a husband because she seemed a little on the sad side. So this is her husband, Linus. And she seems happier, but I guess I'm just kind of wondering, like, I know rabbits are independent creatures, but I would love, Linus in particular was really, really friendly with his foster parents. Like, he loved to be held, he loved to be pet, and now he's not anymore. And Rory never has been super snuggly. So I'm wondering if there's anything that we can do to help them feel more safe and want a little bit more affection from us.
Right. Yeah, so the other one's not coming out at all. So we're not able to see her at all.
I'm gonna see if I can get her to come out.
If she wants to allow us.
I think I upset her yesterday because I brushed her. Rory Buns. Hey. Come here. Oh yeah, no, she's not coming out at all. Rory Buns. Got some apple? There you go, sweet girl.
All right. Looks like Audrey's ready. Yeah, thanks for.
Okay.
Oh, there she is. Hi.
My sweet girl.
Oh.
Might be all we get right now.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Audrey's ready.
Oh, thank you. All right, they're so adorable.
Oh, thank you.
The first thing that I got when you mentioned her name, I got the feeling that she says, "Oh, I know, I have a husband now." I said that in a funny way. I know. So it's not like I'm so excited or I'm so affectionate or I'm in love or anything. It's just like very as a matter of fact. I know. So I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
And then the husband. Okay, so I asked him, why do you not want to? Are you afraid, or are you not happy, or are you just feeling rejected? And so he says, he said, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm welcome here. So I feel that there is even with their petting, I think he's not sure of the new environment yet. Or maybe he's just not getting the vibe from the lady, right? So and then your original girl, she says that she is still the same girl. She wasn't like depressed or anything like that. But there was probably some psychosomatic kind of maybe she's feeling like, oh, I'm a woman now, or I'm a pregnant or something, some kind of a psychosomatic energy that I'm feeling from her. So she's she's not sure. She just feels like she's a part of one of the two. She's one half of the partners. So that's what I'm getting right now. I think they just need a little bit more time, and the boy just needs some more affection. I think that's what I'm getting.
Cody.
a little more affection from her.
Yes, and
Yeah.
right, from you. I mean, he's getting it from you, but he's just not sure why not the same, like my kind, my wife. So that's the rejection that I get.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thanks, Audrey. Yeah, anyone else? Go ahead, Alicia.
Yeah, I was just taking some notes. What Audrey said kind of clued in a couple things for me too. So what I had heard is and it seems like they're allowed to hop around the house a little bit, but I think they just like some more space, especially they're showing me grass. I don't know if they have an opportunity to be in kind of like a leafy, grassy environment.
Yeah, they do at times. They are usually out in the bottom level of the house, or at least for several hours a day. But
yeah, well, because what I think the core of this is, right, because animals have so many emotions like we do too. It looks like Linus is really missing his foster family. There's also some confusion there. So if you can just, talk him through, this is your new family, we love you so much, come join the crew kind of thing, I think that would help. Because alongside that, what Rory is telling Linus, and did Rory have some traumatic background? Do you know?
yeah, I guess she was abandoned. She was found at like 3 months old in a neighborhood and then had to be captured. And then, yeah.
So that was hard on her. So what she was telling me, and I mean, you really have to look at it from, I joke, there's pet problems and there's people problems, right? So this is a pet problem. It's a small, simple one. But the kind of rhetoric Rory is telling Linus, like, look at these humans. They're so dangerous. They took you away from your foster family. And then she's saying, they also stole me from my mom. And so I think she has some grief and sadness and some hurt that really needs to be repaired. And hopefully, and I'm kind of sending some Reiki healing as we do this through my words, but hopefully as she's able to kind of adjust that view that, sure, some people are bad, but not all people are, and she's in a safe place and it looks like a happy home. So what I'm kind of cluing into is that Rory is much more open to that. And so, Linus, the husband, Linus is open to that. And so as you kind of bond and Linus warms up to the family, he'll start to tell Rory, like, no, look, they really are nice. You really can trust them. And so there's a lot of this healing that happens through their bunny marriage.
Yeah. No, I think that's totally right. Yay, my bunny girl.
Thanks so much, Alicia. We've got Lisa ready.
Thank you.
Hey, Jenna. Good evening. You've got some beautiful bunnies there.
Thank you.
So the initial reaction I got from Rory was that she was a bit annoyed and a bit vexed. And what I also got was that she wasn't included in the decision making. And I don't know if that was her or Linus. And I think that, bouncing off of what Alicia was saying, I think that if you can start talking to them more, like I've got 2 cats and I've learned that I let them know exactly what I'm doing when I'm doing it. Like, hey guys, I'm bringing out the big blue monster. I'm going to vacuum. Do you want to go hide? What do you want to go do? Do you want to just kind of hang up high and watch? So I tell them everything that I'm doing. I tell them when I'm leaving also. It's like, hey, and I tell them how long I'm going to be leaving and why. It's like, hey, I'm going down to the gym. I'll be back in about a half hour or so. Or I'm heading off to the grocery store, or, Dad and I are going to head out for a few hours, but we'll be back around dinner time. So that way they start understanding there is no abandonment issues and that our intention is to leave and to return.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Okay. And then maybe if there's an opportunity where you can do some one-on-one bonding with each of them, maybe 15 minutes a day or 30 minutes a day, and then together, that way you are completely absorbed with the three of you together, as you're bonding and not distracted, so that they know that you're in it for the long haul and you are there to be their guardian and love them and be their human. Does that make sense?
It does.
That'll give them quite a strong foundation of security.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
All right, thanks, Lisa.
Well, they're both hiding.
Yeah, who else wants to share?
Where'd you guys go?
I know the first images I had of the first one, Rory, was just "you don't understand me."
Yeah.
That was the phrase that was coming in. So just seems like a lot of openness and willingness to understand her. Like letting her know that you do want to understand her.
Okay.
I see Norma nodding. Yeah, anyone else want to share? Jenna? Yeah, they're both beautiful and both lovely. Maybe if you stop calling him husband, you just have two rabbits.
Maybe.
Yeah,
That's
let
in
her
the
choose what
rabbit.
she wants her relationship to be with him.
Yeah. That's an interesting point. That's what they in the rabbit community they say husband and bun wife, but
Well, you have your own two rabbits and they are who they are.
indeed.
Kind of ties with what you said, Lorraine, that understand me, see me, right? It's like, as Alicia said, like, it's signs of abandonment, right? It's a new transition for them as well. So they also need time, right? That your connection with them and that relationship with them, with themselves, and then with you, right? So they want to be understood as well, and connected slowly.
Yeah, I think he's only been with us for like 2 months. Rory we've had for a year and a half.
And how did that feel to you when they were both out there just now, kind of wandering around and a little bit of interaction? How was that, Jenna?
Well, it was fine. I mean, they're hiding much more than usual at this moment. Like I said, I think Rory's upset with me because I brushed her last night and that she doesn't like that. I'm supposed to do it like 3 times a week and I don't because she doesn't like it. But yeah, I guess I just get disappointed that, you know, that Linus used to be super affectionate and now he's not. But normally, I mean, when we wake up in the morning, they are standing at the side of their thing being like, okay, let us out now. And they'll like do happy hops around the house and be much more normal than they're being right now.
Well, yeah, it's a little weird, right? Just energetically with all of us. I guess one thing about brushing her.
Yeah.
I guess I just think about like in nature, there's nothing brushing her.
Right.
So like there's how humans approach nature, and you know, we're kind of funny about how we approach nature.
Yeah.
So, you know, just the setup of the two of them of being mates and things like that.
Yeah.
So maybe she doesn't have to get brushed.
Yeah.
I mean, if she wants to, if
Right.
like it's really like distasteful and she's a knotted mess or something, and then you wouldn't want to brush her anyway. But yeah, maybe there's some other way that she can be okay and just not quite as, you know, straight haired and shiny as they might have her in a pet store.
I think, well, the idea is that if they, I mean, she's long hair, and if they ingest too much hair, they can get GI distress and it can kill them. And I do understand that in the wild, they don't get brushed. I wonder if they die from GI distress.
Exactly. I'm like,
oh,
we humans, did we breed them with long hair? You know, so as a biologist, it's kind of a little funny what we do sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a good thought. I definitely don't brush her as much as I should. So
Well, yeah, it seems like she's okay. So I know Mark's
Yeah.
got something. We've got Mark and Audrey and Alicia Rose have some comments now too. Go ahead, Mark.
I don't think she's subjected to getting brushed, but I think she wants to be gentler.
Yeah.
That's my input.
Thank you.
Okay, and then let's see, Audrey.
Okay, thank you. So I also get that when you want to brush her, it's like, oh, ritual again. And so she says, well, when I'm out, I just want to run around. And so, I think it's like an attitude of a child, right? Oh, you want me to come out and then you're gonna brush me. So I come out, it's like, oh, homework. Oh, I don't want to do homework. So I think that's being naughty, just being a kid.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, let's see. Alicia's got something.
I had picked up the same thing that Mark did to do it more gentle. I tend to feel things in my body sometimes, and so I started getting a headache, and especially around your head. Maybe if you can be a little bit more gentle, I think that might help.
Okay.
But also what Audrey said, she is not a fan.
Yeah. I know. I sometimes wonder if I had done it more often when she was a baby and didn't have as much hair, if she wouldn't hate it so much now. She's got a lot of hair. Our house is covered in hair.
Now Mark's got something else. Go ahead, Mark.
Well, the other thing I was going to add to that is, I'm wondering if she needs a different brush.
Yeah.
Something softer. Or even you comb her? Use a comb at all?
I did just start the last few times I bought a comb that I've been using, which she seems to tolerate a little bit better.
Yeah, I think comb would be better.
Okay.
All right, well, Lisa's got something else too. Go ahead.
Just as a last tip, bouncing off of what Mark and Alicia were saying, maybe try the act of brushing with just your hands. Get that started, right? So that way, and don't introduce the brush right away. So maybe it's the first few days, and then the third day, it's 5 minutes of the hand brushing, and then gently introduce the comb and let her know, hey, I want to use the brush now. Can I use the brush on you, and get her permission and see how that goes. And just do 2 quick brushes very gently, put it down, return with the hands. So that way, just introduce it a bit at a time.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah, that does. And it's funny because I actually picked her up last night just to pick her up, and I was brushing her with my hands, and my husband was in the other room, and he was like, are you brushing her? Because there is hair floating into the living room, and that's how much she needs to be brushed, is that,
Can you finger comb?
Yeah, some of it, like the undercoat needs to be like combed or brushed. But yeah, for sure, her hair is quite long, so I can finger brush.
Oh, that's fantastic. But yeah, I mean, that'll be part of your bonding process, and you'll make it work. It's just going to take some time.
Yeah.
All right, great. Okay. Well, thanks so much, everyone. Oh, go ahead, Norma. Do you have a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like as well around her. So
fear.
If you like, I'm offering free healings today for animals. If you like, you can always send me the pictures of them, and then I do a distance healing for them, so it helps them to remove the fear, the everything, all the emotional stuff that they have, so they can have a better connection with each other and with you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
There is my information on the chat. You can find it, and feel free to like it.
Great. All right. Well, thank you so much, Jenna. I hope that what we've shared has been helpful.
Yes, thank you. What was the I don't see her contact info.
I can put Norma's. Was it Norma who just offered?
think so. Oh, I see it.
I'll put everyone's
And the
contact
past
info.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll repost everyone in the chat right now too, so it'll be right at the bottom.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, great. Oh, yeah, thanks so much, Jenna. All right, and I don't think I have anyone else in line at the moment. If someone else is wanting to ask a question, now is a great time to jump in. I know I have a question I can ask the panel. We don't have another question at the moment. Okay, someone else is ready to ask. We do request that you pay first. Have you had an opportunity to pay yet? Oh, you did. Okay, great. I just haven't seen it yet. Let me get you up front and I'll go looking for that. Did you want to come up on Spotlight? Just turn your video on. Okay, great, great.
Hi.
All right, what is your question?
All right, so this is Paris. Hope you can see me clearly. I think my screen is kind of messed up. So I have a bit of a two-part question. I found him, I don't know, about 8 months ago. And he was following me home around the neighborhood. And I just asked him, hey, if you're meant to come with me, I'll see you again tomorrow. And sure enough, I kept seeing him. So I finally took him in. He doesn't poop on his own since I found him. He has to have laxatives basically every day. And he also developed a weird breathing thing where he is, whenever he's at rest, he doesn't have, you know, like a normal breathing. He kind of does this thing where he contracts his body. It's kind of interesting. I've taken him to 3 vets. They've done all kinds of tests. They did a heart echocardiogram to make sure the heart was okay, which it was. They did full body x-rays twice. That's been okay. They did an abdominal ultrasound and they said that the spleen looked a little interesting and also the lymph nodes in the tummy. So they recommended doing a biopsy of both of those things, which is very expensive. But they said it could be normal. They're like, it could be either normal for him or, you know, maybe cancer. So I'm not sure if I want to spend another $2,000 on that procedure, especially if it could just be normal. And then also, I'm not sure if I should keep him or not, because I want to move abroad in the next few years, and I know it'll be a little bit more difficult with a cat. But I have quite a bond with him, so I don't know. I'm not sure if it would be wise for me to keep him, but if I am gonna adopt him out, you know, obviously, I mean, regardless, I need to know what's going on with him because I want to make sure he's okay. Him not pooping on his own is, you know, not normal. So yeah.
What food does he eat and does he drink?
Yeah, he does drink. He's been on several different foods. I just switched him to Tiki Cat. But that's another thing too. He's been very, very picky with the food. And prior to me finding him, the neighbors were feeding him for quite a while. And they told me that he was picky with the food, you know, whatever they fed him, he would kind of just turn his nose up and walk away. So he's very like lanky. So yeah, he wants to eat. He has an appetite, but I could tell, you know, sometimes if the food's been sitting out for too long, he won't touch it, which, you know, some cats are like that. But yeah.
Okay, looks like Mark is ready to share. Go ahead, Mark.
Well, first thing I got, he's very glad you adopted him. But I also got, before he even brought it up, that he's afraid of being left. If it was me, I wouldn't spend the money on the vet. I'd spend the money to make sure he could stay with you wherever you went. That's just my intake. That's my input.
Yeah.
He wants to know that he's got a solid place to be.
Yeah.
Thanks,
I understand that there's
Okay,
things to work through with that.
No, keep going. I just wasn't sure if you're done. You're muted. I can't. If there's more. Okay, good. Audrey's got something to share.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I feel that he is, very energetic from what I'm, when we're having a conversation, he says, oh, I gotta go, I have to look up something, or I forgot something on the stove, not on the stove, but, he said, I forgot something over there. So he is mentally very active and physically too, very active. He says, even though he has a home now, but he's still looking forward to going out all the time, if he can be out. So being out means physically active and physically perhaps promoting the bowel movements, and then also probably eating some grass, or whatever he does out there that makes him feel healthier or that he just poops when he's out. So that's kind of what he's telling me. I asked him, is there any other health issues? And he says that usually it is a little dry. I think that probably it's a lazy bowel type of thing. I think that he could definitely have a much faster, regularity, but he feels that it's a little dry, or normally it is slow, or that it is so far. I think I see the pattern of a little bit of a slow passing and all of that. So anyway, that is what I'm getting right now. I think he, of course, is very happy. I think he knows that you go out, you leave home, and you have your routine, and so he's not too overly attached to you being at home. He does not have the separation anxiety per se. So he says, yeah, you go do your thing. So he's very happy to let you get out, come back later when it's dark or something. That's kind of what he says to me. Other than that, he's very happy to have a home. So far, that's what he tells me.
Yeah, he's so cute. Sometimes like I get home and I park my car probably like 300, 400 feet away from my door. It's kind of far away. And by the time I start walking to my door, he's already at the door, at the glass, like just looking at me. It's like he knows I'm home. It's so funny without hearing me or seeing anything,
Yeah. So I definitely see you keeping him for as long as you can, for now, for the time being, and not think about, oh, where do I go to rehome? So for now, anyway, I definitely see the two of you being in a happy home together.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, great. We've got Stacy and then Lisa.
How do you say your name? Is it Maite?
Yeah.
Is that, yeah. So what I was picking up off of him is he was very much in your face. He's intuitive. He's picking up on all the things you're saying and feeling. So when you're talking about leaving, he's aware of that. So that may be causing him some anxiety. And I just heard like, don't leave me. I don't think it means like daily, but I think he's saying he wants to be with you. It's your decision. We all have to make adult decisions, but that's just what I'm feeling from him, is that he's very in tune to you and he understands what you're saying. So.
Yeah, I actually talked to him. I do tell him like, hey, I'm leaving. I'll be back in, a few hours or whatever. And I've had a bunch of cats. And I actually never talked to them the way I do with him. So it's very interesting. I feel like I have a very special bond with him.
So with him too, I had heard, and I was writing this down, I'm not just a cat. So there's more to him than that. So you just said that too. So for what it's worth.
Good luck. Thank you.
Thanks, Stacy. We've got Lisa and then Alicia.
Hey, Mighty?
Yeah, it's okay. I get it all.
I want to make sure I pronounce it correctly. Okay, well, good evening. And Paris is adorable. He's full of energy, and I just want to snuggle with him and give him smooches. I'm a big cat fan. So when it comes to bowel movements and things like that. The average 8-pound cat needs about 1 cup of water a day. And so if that means feeding them raw food, which gives them more moisture, as well as any moisture treats or adding moisture to his dry food, we give our cats what I call tube treats. They're little pâtés, that come in tubes, and I give them, like I split one between them in the evening, just to make sure they have enough moisture in their body to expel and keep things moving. So that's a suggestion for you to look at, as well as I put in the chat, there's a Facebook group. I don't know if you're on Facebook, but there's a Facebook group called Feline Nutrition. And they talk about everything in there and making sure that the moisture levels and the nutrition levels are on par for your pet. So that might be something for you to look in as well. And also, a friend of mine moved abroad, and she was able to make preparations with the vets and the country that she was moving to. So, when it comes to the actual move or the potential to move, consider making those preparations ahead of time so that maybe that bond and he can stay with you and you can stay connected throughout your lives together. So that's quite possible. Some countries are more stringent than others, but I don't know about UK, but I know that she was able to work with Germany on it. So, I'm not sure where you've decided or if you've, made any, thoughts or plans in that direction, but that's something to possibly think about.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks.
You bet.
Thanks, Lisa. We've got Alicia now. Where you're muted.
There we go. I think you can hear me now. Sorry, I just made another window pop up on my computer. So what I was hearing from Paris was so cute. He goes, with a name like this, I belong in Europe.
Right? That's where I want to go.
Yeah, and he is so on board with it. He is ready to travel. It was kind of cute. He said, good cats don't poop in the house. And I did ask him, just, kind of being around the block a couple of times, pumpkin can oftentimes help with digestive issues. And he said that might help him. So, consider some pumpkin puree or wet food mixed with some pumpkin in it. That's always good. He was talking a lot about kind of letting go and holding on. And it sounds like he is very much so your cat. He has had past lives with you and he is going back for another round. And what he's talking about, though, is that he's kind of saying you hold on to the wrong things and let go of the right ones. So what that means is maybe kind of check in with some of your decision making. He certainly feels a little uncertain. I think Stacy said this, uncertain about whether or not you're going to keep him or let him go. So I would really encourage you, the more that you just reiterate to him that he is, if this is how you feel, that he is part of the family and he is here to stay. I think that's going to help him to feel more comfortable and just kind of loosen up, and he won't be as stressed. And some of these pooping things might resolve a little more easily on their own, because whenever we're stressed or we're feeling in some way that someone's, not necessarily that you're attacking him, but that he's vulnerable in some way, it's stressful. It impacts us, and so just be aware of that. But he is so on board with traveling, and it's kind of cute. He's telling me, he says he has a telepathic connection with you. And so as you go to these places where you don't understand the language, he says he'll be your translator. So if you don't know what someone's saying, you'll be like, do you understand? He'll be like, yep, this is what they mean. And he's just he's a guide in a certain way. So it seems like a really beautiful future you both have together. And overall, I'm sensing there's not no major long-term health concern. So whatever it is, definitely take those steps, but it seems like it will be resolved.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I hope so, because I've already spent over 2,000 just trying to figure out what's going on with the breathing and whatever. So I'm like, now to spend another 2,000 where it might not even be a conclusive thing.
Yeah, he's saying with the breathing that it's shallow, and he's like, you're not really in it, right? And so that really goes a lot back to your relationship with him. He wants like it's almost like as soon as you tell him he's part of the family, he's going to take a deep breath.
Yeah.
And so much more relaxed.
He's up for adoption on my friend's website.
Oh,
yeah.
girl, that is confusing to him.
I mean, he was supposed to go to a rescue. Like, he wasn't supposed to stay with me. So he's been on the website, and yeah. I haven't officially made that decision of like keeping him, because my plans are to go abroad. And I had a lot of cats. I did rescue work for many years, and my last couple of cats died last year, just months before I found him. So for me, it was kind of like, okay, now it's time for me to be free and do my own. I have a dog too, but he's like 16. So I just kind of, want a little bit of freedom, because I don't know what it's like not to have a bunch of animals around. And that's where my indecision comes from.
Yeah, definitely make the right decision for you. He keeps pointing, my cat's in my lap right now, and my cat actually followed me home just off the streets. And he's saying that your cat is like my cat, and he's showing me this example where my cat was very protective of me, and it was very helpful in that situation. And so Paris is telling me like, no, she needs me. I'm here to protect her. I'm here to communicate with other people. I'm here to bring her overseas, like all this stuff. So as much as make the right decision for yourself, but it definitely sounds like he's on board if you are.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Lisa just posted the France entry requirements in the chat.
I want to go to Spain actually, but France, I'm considering too. I actually studied abroad there, so I want to go back. It's been too long.
Great. And I want to be able to have Norma jump in. Norma's going to have to leave shortly. So if there's anything you want to share, and then please share about yourself.
Yeah, sure. My tip today, I'm offering free healings for animals. If you feel, that call and you feel connected, I can always give a healing. That is my information. You can always text me or send me an email and with a photo, and then I can do a special healing for the physical body and emotional. It seems a lot of emotional is stuck right there. So it's a way of the body is kind of processing by not letting it go. But it's the fear, emotional stuff that is going on prior that you adopt him. It's a lot of trauma. But I can do a healing, and then you can take a better decision after.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And I'm saying right. Yeah, thank you for having me here. It was a pleasure. And yeah, everybody, whoever would like to share their photos, send me an email or a text, and I will be doing healings free for this time. And thank you. I do shamanic healings with herbs, distance healings as well, and in person for cleaning the chakras and alignment, trauma, abundance, love, anything that you can think of. I might be able to support you and guide you in your spiritual path.
Great. And your website, if people want to learn more about you, is wingsforlove.com. That's wings4love.com. And your email is sparksofhealing7@gmail.com.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Norma. It's been great having you.
Pleasure. Thank you. Take care.
Any other answers for Mighty before we? Right, great. Oh, Stacy's got something. Go ahead, Stacy.
I was just going to say, as Alicia was talking to you, I was writing, and I wish you could see my notebook. You named me Paris. What, you think I want to stay here is what I heard. So that's what I got. So there you go.
Thank you. Yeah, when I found him, I was going through this whole Parisian thing where I was like trying to brush up on my French and like listening to French music. And then when I found, that's just the first thing that came to me when I saw him, just Paris. So yeah. Thank you.
Great. And just by the way, I can't find your payments. So I don't know if you tried to pay my Venmo, it might have been asking for the last 4 digits of my phone number and it hasn't gone through all the way yet, but.
I sent it through PayPal last night.
Oh, okay. So it was last night. Okay, great. I'll go find it. That's why it was from yesterday. Perfect. Thank you so much. Sorry we didn't get you in sooner.
Sorry. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome. Thanks so much, Mighty. All right. Is there anyone else that's in line for a question that I have not realized has already paid, etc.? We want to get you all up to the front. We've got time to answer a few more questions, a couple more questions probably. And I'm logging into PayPal right now. And I know I have it's not an animal question, but it's a healing question that I can ask if we don't have someone else right this moment. Maybe I'll go ahead and I'll share it. If someone else is wanting to jump in, please go ahead and let me know. Is that all right, everyone? You ready? My mom, well, I'm just to share about my mom first because my mom is relevant to here in this. My mom ended her life. My mom was depressed and really crushed by her mother and ended her life when I was in my mid-20s. There's someone that I met in a bookstore in Portland years ago when I used to do readings in the bookstore that I connected with. The energy that I read in her eyes is a lot of similarity to my mom, and she experienced a ton of trauma in her life. And as she writes about it on Facebook, a lot of it is public. She almost came to my fair in Portland this weekend and it didn't work for her to come. She ended up needing a ride and she just was feeling really weak. And so she needed someone to drive her like to the fair and back. And she lives far away and it just wasn't going to work out for the ways that I could think of for her to get there. Like she finally got on disability and has a place to live right now. But she wrote me after the weekend and just said, like her energy is just, I could read her words, but just her energy is just going down and down. Like she can't figure out taking care of herself. It's just too much energy, too much work. I wrote about it on Facebook asking for help and some people were saying some great suggestions, but I've been busy. I didn't respond back to her maybe in a day. And she wrote to me, and this is where I kind of I feel scared that in some ways she's got like a little bit of a victim thing and is attempting to suck me in. And like the fear and just stuff with my mom too. I've been really good at having healthy boundaries with her. I'm here. Like I respond back. I don't give more than I can give. And maybe just what she just wrote me today. And I don't remember when I last wrote. Yeah, she said she needs maybe she did write back. She said she needs a miracle. She needs to be in a village where more people are taking care of her. But she says, she's expressing love to me and how much care I've given her. She said, my body's growing weaker and I will be passing soon. She did say this earlier that she's like, if she can't find help, like she said, she's just going to die. She said, my body's growing weaker and I will be passing soon. I'll be watching over and helping everyone who's loved me in this life. Please don't worry, just pray for me and trust. And she's someone that I know has felt just so abused by so much of the system or.
She's fucking tired. Okay.
Sorry. Thanks so much. Yeah, so I'm kind of asking of what do I do here? What do I do in terms of just the things that it's tugging at me about my mom? Yeah, Mark, go ahead.
Well, I'm not sure. Well, I was going to say, if you send me your picture, I can send her energy, but I would need her permission.
Yeah, and I guess that I can ask and she'll answer. I guess maybe my question is, I mean, I know she clearly needs help. And this is when, yeah, we used to live in a village and there were more of us that could help, right?
Right.
And I'm not wanting to dishonor myself. I'm clear about that. I feel sad that this is so, and this is what she's experiencing. I can't fully, she's on her journey. Like her journey's been really, really hard. And maybe she's just getting weaker and maybe it is time for her to go. I can't tell. And I'm
not as concerned about her as I am about you.
Right.
And I get that there's still, I guess I would call it, or that's a question. Do you think there's still unresolved grief over your mother?
kind of obviously there is. I have just
Yeah.
it's
That's what I get.
it's hard for me when someone leaves when they don't have to leave. To
Yeah, I
watch
get
people
that.
that aren't able to engage the resources that are there, and then I know people are on their different journeys and different paths.
So I have a question for you. Tell me, there's a little small voice in you. What is it saying?
You can make it.
Yeah, I think so. It's also saying, I want to be loved. Do you think you struggle with feeling loved?
I feel loved, and I feel all mixed in what we're talking about, because the love for my mother was really, really toxic. So I don't want to be loved by my mother.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand that. I get that. So I would say you want to be loved, but you don't want to be abused. And your mother abused you and manipulated you. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, there. Now it feels a little better. It feels like you feel heard some.
Did I feel heard some?
Yeah, but that you heard. How do I explain that? Understood might be a better word.
Yeah, maybe so.
Okay.
It moved, the tension moved from my here in my chest around my heart to my throat. Now it's dissipating, and
Yes. It feels that way. There. Now it feels like more light's coming in. I'm a little scared of that, huh? There. There you softened. I have another question. Do you think you're more uncomfortable with male energy? Yeah, okay. I think it was the male part of your mother that was so difficult.
I have abuse from a lot of different people, so it's a mess.
Okay. I understand. Oh, there. That feels better. Well, there's a couple other hands up. I'll let them go.
Thanks so much, Mark. All right, we've got Audrey and Alicia.
Okay. Okay, so your mom has certainly come into the circle of conversation. And so, from her perspective, she says that she was very much aligned with the family values, or whatever the tradition was, or she tried to do the right thing. Anyway, she was trying to explain herself to me. And then she says that you, the daughter, were very bright, and then you had all your own thoughts, so of course, all the while you try to be independent and you were on your own, or that you were like this you just have to shine bright, and you couldn't fit into her world. That's kind of how she describes it all to me, in a way. Now, this friend this friend is someone who is very attracted to your energy. I don't really feel that there is a karma between you and her, or that she is a part of your family per se. I feel that she is just attracted to your energy because she was a wanderer. For whatever it's worth in this lifetime, that she's had a rough and that she's whatever. But she looks to me a third party as a wanderer, and then she's attracted to you, and so she's attaching herself to you so that you can show some care and some love and all of that. And I think that the words that she used, like, I'm maybe leaving soon, I just want to talk to you, or that you're the only person that we're connecting with each other. And I think that's, of course, a very strongly dramatic way of talking. But I feel that I see you keeping your boundaries, being professional, or that you have many people to deal with, to share your love with. And then so she is only a small part of the many. So, I wouldn't take that on myself to say, okay, what can I do for you? Should I deliver food or anything? I feel that the boundary stands. That is what I see for right now, because she is still in the process of learning her own lessons. That she is also very much alone as a result of probably the way that she deals with her own emotional things in her life, like how many people that she's had and how many people that she decided to leave. So I think that you're doing okay. I think that you among all of this, you're learning your boundaries, and she's learning. Everybody's learning from each other. That's what I did.
Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Audrey.
Mm.
Alicia.
Sorry, I was just looking up dates for you because that's what I'm hearing. So it really sounds like there's two parts, right? One part is your friend, and the other part is the grief with your mom. In terms of your friend, it seems like she will accept whatever you offer her. So the spirits are kind of accolading you and keeping those strong boundaries. They're very supportive in that way. They want to make sure, and actually they said to only accept and honor equitable relationships. And there's so many caveats to that with, equal is not the same. There's this time aspect. Sometimes we go through low times, but overall, make sure that your relationships are equitable. You know what that means? Okay, good.
Yes.
So overarchingly, what I'm hearing is that this is an opportunity for you to heal yourself. Your friend is effectively acting as a trigger for you to pull up some of your past history with your mom and that experience, to heal it and move on. What's really nice about that is it seems like you are in a place where you're ready to, you got to dredge up all the gunk and look at it, but you're able to clear that out and you don't have to carry that with you moving forward. The thing with the dates that I heard, Saturn just went into retrograde a couple of days ago, and I'm thinking in my memory it's about 6 months, but what they're saying is when this cycle is done, this Saturn retrograde is done, you are able to release this, and what that allows is for you to be a much more authentic person to who you are. And there were so many beautiful messages because you had said a couple things in relation to your friend that are really about you, right? So you had said that you believe, or that she believes no one is helping her. She's unable to engage in the resources that are there. And I can tell that there's so much hurt there. And the messages from Spirit are overwhelmingly telling you to pull up your britches and put a smile on your face, because you have created this incredibly beautiful life. And they just keep saying, you've created all of this. Look at where you came from. You've created this beautiful home, this beautiful business. And to look, especially because I have to admit a little bit, I know you well enough. where I think I'm a little upset with your mom as well. So she didn't quite come talk to me like she did with Audrey. But they were really just showing me all of these experiences where I've seen you have entire conference rooms of people here, not only healing each other and creating these relationships, but healing people all around the West Coast. I couldn't even make it up. There's this beautiful light reflection behind me with these 5 stars, and they're really talking to you about coming into that alignment, because what's happening is, as you are able to come to terms with the situation with your mom and all of those feelings, I don't want to go too into depth with that, but it's really talking about how much responsibility you have carried. And especially during that vulnerable time, you were in a situation where, you really had to look around and make the best of it. And they're saying that you did. And it's just, I'm seeing like all these messages and images, and it's just so important, but really talking about how you're coming into this wholeness over the next couple months. And the last thing I want to leave you with is something called the rubber band theory. Have you heard of that? And that's the further into the darkness, the further back that you are pulled, the farther and faster you go into the future. And so they are just reminding me and to communicate to you that for however dark those periods of time were, you have grown that much higher into the sky. And I just want to tell you, I love you so much.
Thank you. Stacy.
So I just started writing, and so what I got was, there is something that you are to learn from this, and the learning of which will cause you ease, and that you will no longer have to reincarnate and repeat the cycle that you're in. And this is hard for humans to know how to handle, but you can. Show your friend as much love as you can, but not to your demise. Don't lose sight of you, Lorelei. You're supposed to look for your true blue friends right now, whatever that means. Those people that are closest to you.
Thank you. Lisa? Yeah.
I can feel your grief. And it weighs heavy. I feel that. That's going to feel very heavy for you as well. I got just a couple of hits, and what I got was surrender to yourself, not to anybody else. Because we know that Saturn is all about boundaries and self-discipline with those boundaries. And you're doing a fine job of that with your friend. You're doing a fine job of that. And the next hit I got was to listen to your gut and follow your intuition. And you know that she is on her own journey, and it's really difficult for us to watch that happen. And when Audrey had talked about how some of those comments that she had made were very, I forget explicitly what Audrey said, but what did you say, Audrey?
Dramatic.
Demanding? Yeah, that's what I thought. Dramatic. Yeah. I've got, my background includes a narcissistic mother, and I understand what the push and pull is by that emotional blackmail. And I don't say that lightly. So, but I said it. And so I want to commend you for recognizing it for what it is, and understanding that the best thing you can do for her is probably just send her light, because she has got to follow through with whatever decision she makes, and that's not on you.
And I get that she, just of all the scenario that I've heard, she's the most good and the most innocent person of the family that she's from. And she shares such wisdom at times. And she shares so much pain. And I realize that in the pain and the struggle and the journey that she's experiencing, some of the unhealthiness from her family may be coming through her too.
Yeah, I feel for her too. I'm sorry for all of it. I hope she finds resolve, and I hope that you also find peace.
Thank you. I thank you, all of you, so much. So helpful to not feel the only one in here, and to also feel support for the only way I can see through it, and to have more openness and to see the purpose of it for me. And the options, the opportunities that's here, and their reflection to myself and my growth. Thank you. All right, let me see if I've got someone else here that has a question before I take care of myself just a little bit more physically.
Lorelei?
Yes.
I wonder if I could share something with you.
Yeah, sure. This is Kristen who asked a question earlier. Yeah, go ahead.
So I got a vision that I just wanted to give you it might help with a visual. It kind of ties into what everybody was saying, but the thing that I saw for you was a big wooden heavy door, like a really heavy wooden door. And in it is a keyhole. And your friend is that keyhole for you. And you're looking into her situation, and that's giving light and, an opportunity for you to also, trigger some things about your mom's situation, but it's also shedding light and giving you a chance to bring healing to that as well. But the thing to remember is the keyhole goes both ways. There's light coming in to you as well, and there's light going out. So you can share your light with her. She can share some light with you. And the wooden door is your boundaries. Strong, heavy, strong boundary. So good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you. And that's the nudge to Kristen to continue to step on the pathway towards being a practitioner. Great. Oh, all right. Yeah, so if someone else is wanting to, yeah, thank you. I appreciate the care that people are sending in chat too. Yeah, so if someone is wanting to, yeah, October 23, just trying to think about dates, and yeah. If someone else is wanting to ask a question, we could probably take one more question. Oh, Audrey, if you want to say something, go ahead.
Okay, just real quick, since today we're on the animal day. So your doggy says, well, I just know that Lorelei is very busy all the time. And Lorelei is like my sister. She's not a mommy, she's my sister. So that's what your dog says to me. And so he sees you busy all the time, always doing the shuffle and going out, doing this and that. So, he probably feels very overwhelmed by your activities in life. And he doesn't really realize, you have all these vulnerable little spots in you emotionally. Yeah. So anyway, he just says he admires you being so busy. But it's funny that he calls you his sister.
That's great. Oh, that's fun. Thank you. All right, great. Well, yeah, and so if there's no one just immediately leaping in, we can think that no one else has jumped in. Yeah, we can just go ahead and finish up. Yeah, thanks everyone for letting me get in here too. So let's go around and everybody share. Well, let's see. Let me paste a couple things in the chat first. I'm going to put in again the drawing for anyone that would like to share feedback with us about today. If you'd like to be entered into a drawing for a free 30-minute session with one of the practitioners of your choice, just click and fill out the feedback form. And we have a lot of upcoming events. I'll just post these in the chat. We have an in-person fair coming up in Linwood in the Seattle area this weekend. So I am busy getting ready for that. And then online, we have next week on the 17th, Friday the 17th, we have a Summer of Love, Self-Care, Relationships, and Dating, a free MeWe online awakening panel. And I actually also have some other events during the week. That event and some other events are part of the, and I should know exactly what it stands for. I think it's like IWEC, it's a wellness conference hosted by Stephanie Buckland, who I think might be here as well, or was here earlier. I'm also doing authentic relating games on feelings on Wednesday evenings. So just know there are a bunch of different events coming up next week. I'll go look for those in the chat. And then also we have Wednesday, June 29, we have a panel on paganism and ecotherapy. July 9, we have a panel on demystifying and reclaiming the metaphysics of aging. July 10, we have a Metaphysics and Wellness MeWe Fair online. July 30, we have a panel on medical intuition. We've also been adding panels on healing from narcissistic abuse. And another one I was working on earlier, what is it? It was, I was just looking at the image earlier. Let me see if I can find it. Past lives. We have another panel on past lives coming up. So lots of different things. And this Saturday, we do have Saturday and Sunday. We have the MeWe Fair in Linwood in Seattle that I mentioned, and then also in Linwood. And then Saturday night, Amanda Gale is going to be sharing a night of evidential mediumship. And several of these practitioners, I know of us, are going to be there at the fair this weekend. And then we'll be in Eugene, Oregon at the end of the month. So just some of the things that are coming. All right, so let's have all the practitioners go around again, share your name, your modalities, all the things that you do, and then how people can reach out to you and connect with you on the web. So that's all here, and I'll go ahead and put all your contact info in the chat again as well. Let's go in a similar order as before. We'll have Alicia, Audrey, Lisa, Stacy, and Mark. Go ahead, Alicia.
Thanks, Laureli. My name is Alicia Rose, and I'm a psychic medium and energy healer. My specialty is in animal communication and past lives. Certainly, I'm most active on Instagram, but I also have Facebook and all that. My website is roseco.co, and you can find me on Instagram at allyrose359. In addition to private sessions, I have a customized coaching program, but also my favorite is called Ask Alicia, and that is when I get together with all my friends on third Wednesdays of the month, and we talk about all of our specialties. So this month is featuring my friend Soul Dr. D, and she's talking about karmic astrology. We'll do a past life regression and pop into the Akashic records. Even though, of course, animal communication is kind of where I got my start, I have branched out a lot. So if you ever have any questions, I'm a good person to run things past, and I can certainly point you in the right direction. And I'll help you the best I can.
Thanks so much, Alicia. Go ahead, Audrey.
Hi. Okay, my name is Audrey Lee. I do astrology, numerology, tarot, destiny cards, or many different cards, and then also talk to the spirit. So today, talking to the pets, talking to animals is just one of the many different spirits that we talk to, right? And I have many meetups, many mini classes at my website or at my meetup group, Metaphysical Haven. And then also, I just feel that it's very inspiring. Every time I talk to people, you never know what's going to come out. Let's say the animals, they say something, they say the funniest things, just like that show, kids say the funniest things, right? So I love that so much. Anyway, I can be found at audreyleemetaphysics.com. I very much appreciate all of you. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Audrey. Lisa.
Hey, good evening, everyone. I am Lisa Stewart of Sigil Magic Goddess. I call myself a creative mixed medium. And as a fellow animal lover, I have drawn protection sigils for your pets to apply on any material that you'd like. And I also have the sigils available on various merchandise through Redbubble, and you can find those links on my websites. Lastly, if you're starting a business, there are a variety of ways that we can work together, and I've got a number of things going on to help you where you're at. So check out my planners, upcoming workshops. I've got 2 next week, and consulting options on sigilmagicgoddess.com. I've got a 25% discount on my planners. You're going to have to contact me for a direct link because I have to build a special one. You can't just plug it in. I'm sorry about that. And you can also find me on all the social media connections and my meetup group, mysticmakersportal.com. Thanks so much. Have a great evening.
Thanks so much, Lisa. We've got Stacy and then Mark.
Hi, Stacy Franco. You can find me on coastalcalmedium.com. Again, I'm a Reiki energy healer with a specialty in mediumship. I say that I'm an energy healer for pets and their people. I do love to work with everyone. And if I don't know the answer, I'm sure I can point you in the direction of one of these lovely people that I've worked with tonight and all the other people that are out there. So I look forward to working with you.
Thanks so much, Stacy. Mark? Is Mark back and ready? Let me share Mark's contact info and hopefully he'll be back in just a moment. Mark does energy shifts. Energy shifts for physical and emotional healing, and lives on 40 acres. That is they do healing work there. They have tons of different tools and equipment for doing healing work. They brought some of it to the fair in Portland last weekend. He and his wife, she also is a practitioner. And yeah, what else he wants to share. You can find out more about where they are and the healing work they do at anoasisinnature.com. Mark's available at anoasisinnature@gmail.com. And his phone is 503-709-0706. Thanks so much, everyone, for being here today and for holding space and asking questions and supporting all of us as we are receiving answers. Thanks so much, practitioners, for being on the panel. Just practitioner, if there's anything else that you want to share. Yeah, before we finish up. Great. Yeah, Alicia, go ahead.
You know, I was just thinking a little bit about my own journey and how integral you have been to that, because these MeWe fairs really allowed me an opportunity in a safe space to, you know, go be a psychic. And I know I've met most of the practitioners on the line here, and Stacy, I'm sure someday we'll meet in person. But it's been such a beautiful opportunity, and I just want to thank you and also remind you to introduce yourself and all the wonderful work that you are doing.
Okay. Thank you. Yep. Okay. Thank you. Oh, so funny. I'm Laureli Shimayo. I'm an intuitive eye reader and a body psychology coach. I read your eyes, read your soul, and answer questions about your soul, your path, your career path, relationships you're in. I love to use this work for matchmaking to help you find someone that supports you on your path. Great for them as well. For romance, for business, I have a book on some of what I read in people's eyes. This is on 7 talents that describe what we naturally value and contribute, how we can feel the most fulfillment and make the biggest contributions. People have 3 of these talents. The book describes each of them and how to get a deep sense of what they are and what they contribute, and see which ones you resonate with and feel energized doing. So you see which ones might be yours. And I can read your eyes as well. And I teach people to read eyes. You can find out more about me at laurelishimayo.com, LaureliShimayo.com. And my work is about 40% off if you sign up to work with me today or the next few days from having been here at the event. Thanks so much, Alicia. Great. All right. Well, thanks everyone for being here. More of our events are listed at MeWeFairs.com, MEWEFAIRS.com. Appreciate you all being here. I'll take us all off of Spotlight before I turn off the recording. Yes, if anyone wants to jump in and just, I got the recording still on, say hello and goodbye. You're welcome to do that on the way out. And yes, we got all of us here in gallery at the very end. Thanks, everyone.
Love you guys. Look forward to this weekend. Bye.
You're welcome. Thanks, Goddess Yasmin. Yeah, so many of us are going to be in Linwood. Excuse me.
Bye, thank you for a great panel. That was really a nice subject.
Very welcome. So lovely doing all this together in community. All right. Thanks everyone so much.